What if life isn't meant to be solved? What if your confusion isn't a problem to fix, but a sign you're exactly where you need to be? What if the weight you carry, the questions, the uncertainty, shouldn't I have figured this out by now, isn't a burden, but an invitation? Not to solve life, but to meet it. Let's sit with that, because today's not about fixing anything. It's about letting go of the belief that you were ever broken in the first place. The pressure to figure it out. We've been trained subtly, steadily, to see if life is a problem, a puzzle to complete, a map to master. And if we feel lost, we assume we did something wrong. School teaches us to get the right answers. Work rewards us for predictability. Even self-help sometimes sells the idea that peace comes from when you finally get it right. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Life isn't a formula. There is no universal checklist. You can read the books, follow the routines, say the affirmations, and still feel like you're missing something. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. And maybe, just maybe, life was never meant to be figured out. We chase this thing, the myth of arrival, the perfect relationship, the dream job, the healed version of ourselves. And we believe, once I get there, then I'll be okay. But there keeps moving. Every solution breeds a new question. Every finish line turns into another starting point. You lose the weight, and now it's about keeping it off. You find love, and now it's about sustaining it. You find purpose, and now it's about maximizing it. It never ends. Because the story of arrival was built on the idea that life is a staircase, and peace lives at the top. But life is not a staircase. It's a river. It flows, it shifts, it doesn't care about your schedule. And the more you try to force it, to fit a shape it was never meant to hold, the more it slips through your hands. And here's what gets strange. Every time we stop, it doesn't feel restful. Stillness can feel like a failure, like waiting in a room where everyone else seems to be rushing past you. It can feel like being left behind, and your brain starts whispering, "You're wasting time, you're falling behind, you should be doing more." But that discomfort, it's not proof that something's wrong, it's proof that something is shifting. Because you've spent years, maybe decades, trying your worst in movement, to output, to productivity. So when you stop, really stop, it can feel like disappearing. But what's happening is actually far more important. You're learning how to just be. To be without proving, to be without fixing, to be without having all the answers. That stillness, that's where real transformation begins. When you stop asking for a map. Think about it. The most meaningful moments in your life are ones that shaped you. Didn't come with instructions. They didn't arrive with clarity. They showed up as confusion, as heartbreak, as stillness, as waiting. And you didn't solve them, you moved through them. Not like a checklist, like a spiral. You circled back to old wounds with new eyes. You revisited questions with deeper honesty. And you learn over time that clarity doesn't come from controlling the future. It comes from being fully present with the now. We don't need more maps, we need more stillness. Stillness to feel what's real. Stillness to listen to the quiet things. Stillness to stop performing long enough to remember who we actually are. You don't have to know where you're going. Repeat this with me, out loud if you can. I don't have to know where I'm going to trust where I am. Say it again, slower this time. I don't have to know where I'm going to trust where I am. Breathe that in. Let it land. Because most of us don't need new answers. We need new permission. Permission to not know. Permission to pause. Permission to rest in space between chapters. You're not a machine. You're not a brand. You're not a self-improvement project. You're a human being with seasons, with mysteries, with feelings that don't make sense but still deserve space. There's no prize for figuring everything out. but there is peace in allowing yourself to be in the process. Reframing questions. So instead of asking, "What's wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out? When will I finally feel whole?" Try asking, "What part of me needs space to breathe? What if this not knowing is exactly what I need right now? Who am I when I'm not performing?" These questions don't have tidy answers, but they open doors. They loosen the grip of perfectionism. They soften the edges of shame. And that, more than any strategy, is where change begins. Here's what no one talks about in the world built on a hustle. Doing nothing is doing something. Let me say that again. Doing nothing is doing something. It's choosing not to react immediately. It's letting your nervous system catch up with your ambition. It's pausing before you say yes out of guilt or fear. It's feeling an emotion without fully trying to label, fix, or justify it. Stillness isn't laziness, it's courage. Because it takes guts to be yourself without distractions. To sit in the silence without asking it to entertain or enlighten you. But over time, that silence stops feeling like a void and starts feeling like a home. Let life be a question. So what if life isn't a problem? What if it's a poem, a melody, a riddle without an answer? What if your only job is not to solve it, but to listen, to feel it, to let it move you? We're not here to crack a code. We're here to become something. And becoming takes time. It's not efficient. It's not clean. It doesn't come with instructions. But it's real, and real is enough. Maybe your life hasn't gone the way you planned. Maybe the relationship ended, the job that fell through, the passion faded. And maybe you're standing in the middle of a life you didn't expect, wondering what's next. If that's you, hear this. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not unfinished. You're evolving. Just because you can't see the shape of it doesn't mean it's not happening. Growth doesn't always look like blooming. Sometimes it looks like being still in the dark for a while, and that's okay. The unloved life and unsolved life is still a beautiful one. You don't need to know what this all means. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need to be 100% healed, certain, or clear. You just need to be honest. You just need to stay curious. You just need to remember the mystery is not a mistake. It's the medicine. The part of you that aches for answers. That's your humanity. The part of you that can breathe through the ache. That's your strength. Let life remain a little unsolved. Let yourself remain a little unfinished, because sometimes the most beautiful things are the ones that never get resolved, just deeply lived. Till next time you catch yourself thinking, "Why don't I have it all figured out?" Pause, breathe, and ask instead, "What if I don't need to?" Because maybe the peace you've been chasing isn't waiting at the end of a plan. Maybe it's already here, in this breath, in this silence, in this moment you stop trying to fix it. Stay here. You're allowed. You're enough, exactly how you are. Watch the next video. It might not solve your life, but it'll help you love it more.